Your Sports 1140 KHTK update. Brought to you by J.R. Putman Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Hey, it's Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Sacramento Kings are back home tonight for the first time since February 10th, hosting the Milwaukee Bucks at the Golden One Center. Our coverage on Sports 1140 begins with game night at 5:30. Kings Live is at 6:30, and tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. It doesn't look like we'll have a pitch clock in MLB anytime soon. The league was set to install a 20-second pitch clock for this season, but it's now willing to push that back until 2022 as they explore new ways to increase the rate of play in baseball. And 2 Dallas Cowboys are facing suspensions. Defensive end Randy Gregory, he's been suspended indefinitely for continued violations of the NFL's substance abuse policy. Defensive lineman David Irving spent portions of the last 2 seasons serving suspensions, and now he's facing another for violating league policies. That's according to ESPN. It's 8:03. If you have been injured at work, call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-564-4000 for a free consultation. It's hour 3 of The Drive. Coming up next on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning, morning, morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
Welcome back to The Drive. This hour, we will analyze all the starting lineups in the NBA. Coming up next week, we will be giving our full NCAA March Madness picks, both men and women. You can weigh in at 1-800-920-1140. Go to the phones, the Fire Wings hotline. Welcome into the program.
Go to the phones.
Caller, who's this? Hello. I hear you there.
Talking to you.
All right, let's play a game. Everybody who is on hold to talk to this show, say hello right now.
Hey, if you're in Walnut Creek-ish, or maybe from Walnut Creek, or have ever been to Walnut Creek, say hello now.
Yep. They didn't figure it out. Let's try that again. It's The Drive. Hello, who's this?
This is Doug. I'm seeing if I won those tickets.
Oh, we're doing the giveaway right now.
Oh,
We're doing the giveaway. It actually starts in 3, 2. You're just a bit early. 1. All right, 8:05 on the mark. Call us at 339-1140.
These phone lines lit up. We were like, yeah, people want to talk about starting lineups.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that one of those was on hold for like 10 minutes, the first one. Kyle, have you ever been a part of an awkward moment? I like to call it The Drive, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9.
Yeah.
This was an awkward moment during the Clippers telecast. Remember the other night when we were talking about how Doc Rivers took the mic and,
Yeah.
Well, there was something else that happened that was kind of notoriety-able.
Notable.
Thank you. In that game.
Notoriety.
Yeah, I made it up. And they were talking about how the Dallas Mavericks acquired Dirk Nowitzki. And you may remember that Dirk Nowitzki was originally drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks, and a draft day trade happened between the Bucks and the Mavericks, and the Mavericks traded the rights to Robert Tractor Traylor, who has since tragically passed away. The problem is that information, unfortunately, was not on the top of the minds of the Clippers broadcast crew.
He just launched his career like nobody could guard him anymore.
I guess Milwaukee didn't see it either. They drafted him and then traded him to Dallas draft day for Robert Tractor Traylor. Who's he playing for now?
The Detroit YMCA over 40 league.
Yeah.
Do you ever have one of those moments that's so embarrassing or awkward that it hurts you physically because
Yes.
your body is trying to crawl inside of itself?
I call it every Friday night at my house.
That's how I feel like right now.
That was
my body is trying to roly-poly.
That was Ralph Lawler and former NBAer Don McClain, who obviously forgot that tractor trailer tragically passed in 2011 at 34 years old of a heart attack. And were saying, they were basically dragging him, saying he's playing for the YMCA League. Somebody apparently slipped them a note during a break, and they followed it up with this.
His final game in Los Angeles as a member of the Dallas Mavericks and the National Basketball Association. We made a light earlier that he was traded from Milwaukee to Dallas in exchange for Robert Tractor Trailer, and I was wondering what Robert Tractor Trailer was doing today, totally slipping my mind, I guess Don's mind, but he passed away a couple years ago, so may he rest in peace, and our apologies.
Yeah, apologies.
Absolutely.
I didn't realize that.
The reality is Don Nelson, the Hall of Fame coach, helped make that trade, and he was roasted in Dallas for the trade, bringing Nowitzki, this unknown 7-foot white guy from Germany, for crying out loud, and Trailer was a big hulk of a man, had a great deal of promise, and it worked out pretty darn well for Dirk Nowitzki, and if we offended anybody, we're really sorry about that. It was totally inadvertent and unintended.
Absolutely.
I mean, okay. Well, let me just be clear. First off, I'm fine with that. We all do really stupid things, and I don't think Don McClain. I don't think.
I thought for sure that was going the direction of the massive overcorrection.
Yeah.
Where they were like, Robert Tractor Trailer, a Hall of Fame player, like, and just we're gonna go the complete.
Yeah, like I'm not in the outrage crowd generally. Like they screwed up.
Yes.
They felt terrible. They didn't maliciously try to besmirch the name of a person who passed away. They legit forgot. I just don't entirely know if. I mean, that was just also a rough apology. Just say sorry and move on. And awkward. It's really awkward.
You know what else is awkward?
What's that?
We had a winner for the Florida-Georgia line tickets.
Yeah.
And they hung up.
Well, that's not going to get you into the show.
So we still have tickets to give away, and I am going to pick up the first person that calls and give them tickets. So
like physically pick them up?
Yep, pick them up. I'm just going to lift them right up over my head.
Okay.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Stepped on your thing. Sorry.
You did. No, I stepped on you.
I stepped on your thing.
DeMarcus Cousins, you'll recall yesterday we talked about that silly technical foul that happened for tossing the shoe. Remember, there was a shoe on the floor. He tossed it into the first row while play was going on. Sounds like obviously, it looked like obviously he was trying to get the shoe off the floor. It could hurt somebody. DeMarcus Cousins has received a lot of technical fouls in his career, and I say this as a huge DeMarcus Cousins fan. He's deserved probably 110. No, that's not true. He's deserved at least 80% of the technical fouls he's gotten. This was not one of them. Well, as we told you it would happen yesterday, after further review, the NBA has rescinded that technical foul. I'm just glad. I mean, not that I would really feel terrible for the Warriors, but they did win that game 121-110. I am just glad that was not a 1-point game because, they can't rescind that point. I also don't like when people say, I'm sorry if anyone was offended. That was the other part of that apology from the Clippers guys. I don't like that. If you're going to make an apology, just make an apology. I'm sorry. It shouldn't matter if somebody was offended. Because doesn't that imply the only reason you're apologizing is because you offended somebody? You're either sorry or you're not. It's more like, I don't care if anyone was offended. I'm still sorry. It was something I said that was dumb. Kyle, help me out here. I need you and Jay on this one because I have to get to the story. Who is Ja Rule? I mean, I know he's a rapper, singer, whatever, but like, who is he?
He was popular in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s.
Early.
is known for that kind of voice,
Like DMX.
or gravelly type of voice.
You played one of his songs
yeah,
earlier.
DMX is a way better rapper than Ja Rule, though.
Yeah, I thought it was DMX when you played.
Yeah, so he had a short run in the early 2000s. He beefed with 50 Cent, right?
Yeah,
50 Cent.
He was probably one of the most popular rappers of the early 2000s,
Wow.
and then 50 in the rap game, it's called Bodied Him.
He got bodied.
Got bodied bad and never recovered.
Like when Drake said that Meek Mill was being bodied by a singing individual.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. So Ja Rule had a decent run for a few years.
Yeah.
When you say a decent run, like top 5, top 10?
Yeah, in terms of popularity, he was probably top 5 from like 2000 to 2003, as much as people don't want to admit that. He was.
Yeah,
He sold a
That's
lot
probably
of
right.
records.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 50 Cent and he started beefing.
Yes.
And in the course of the beefings, 50 won.
Badly.
Yeah. 50 wasn't going to say anything, but then Ja started yapping in magazines how he stabbed him.
Did he stab him?
So Eminem and all those guys said, screw it, 50, smash him, mash him, let him have it.
Okay,
Those are lyrics from an Eminem song.
I'm seeing a lot of people on the text line now saying Ja Rule was one of Eminem's first victims, and Eminem helped end his career.
I think it was Eminem, it was 50 Cent, and Busta Rhymes. All three of them kind of like teamed up together and were like, yeah, we're done with this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So they kind of Thanos themselves.
Yes.
Ja Rule coming back to play a halftime show, and I understand it was 90s night, but Ja Rule coming back to do a concert would be like if I didn't think this analogy through. If the Bucks had called back, just like pick a random NBA player from
Bruno Caboclo.
If they said, "Hey, Bruno Caboclo, come play a few minutes for us."
Okay. I need to try to put it in Ja Rule's career in terms of where what I know. Would he be?
Can we say Monte Ellis?
I was going to go with Steve Francis.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair. Steve Francis is good.
But in musical terms, would he be like Lisa and Colt Jam, who had 3 really big hits in the 80s? Trying to think of would he be like, is he like Smash Mouth? Smash Mouth had platinum record and All-Star and Walking on the Sun and all that, but now they're kind of they have 70,000 followers on Twitter.
Now they tweet about the
Giants.
The Giants, ja, I saw that last night. Like, is Ja Rule, like, I'm trying to find the proper crossover here.
Smash Mouth might be good.
Is Ja Rule
That's
like
fine.
the Smash Mouth of rap
That's fine.
today? Okay, so that's semi-accurate.
That's
Okay.
fair, yeah.
Okay. So why are we talking about Ja Rule, you may be asking? Because Ja Rule let me see if I got this right. Ja Rule did a halftime performance in Minnesota, or was it Milwaukee? Milwaukee. And there were some sound issues or whatever, and the big thing you see on the internet now is he was trying to do the halftime performance. He's like, "Hey, everybody, are you ready?"
Go ahead.
And like nobody responded. He goes, "Oh, guess not."
Okay, so have you seen the actual video?
Yes.
The one where people do respond?
Oh, no, I just saw the one
And
where he had his
he's
hand in the air.
talking to his DJ.
Okay. And the DJ wasn't ready.
DJ was not ready.
Okay.
And that's when he said, "Are you ready?" Like that elongated ready, trying to stall for time.
Okay.
And then he got done, and there was still no music. That's why he said, "Guess not."
Okay.
And if you watch the video, I think was it Kevin O'Connor from The Ringer had video. The crowd responds. The one that Complex posted that went around, they had like cut all the crowd sound out.
Okay. All right. So people made fun of him.
He got fried.
Roasted.
You mean like on
Bodied.
like on fire?
Yeah.
With a Y?
I'm sorry, Dave. I love you to death. I'm sorry, but you were super late with that joke on Twitter.
You know what? It's kind of like repeats in television. If I haven't seen it before, it's brand new. So here's what happened. The Kings lost to Minnesota. And then the Kings Twitter account, which is great, posted a thing on, basically making fun of Ja Rule. All right. So then Ja Rule gets on his Twitter and goes at the Sacramento Kings and says, y'all been bums and you will never win a championship. De'Aaron Fox will leave in free agency. The curse. But that was only after his original tweet where he tweeted at the Kings and said, you've both, including the Timberwolves, been hit with the curse. No championships for y'all. And Karl Anthony Towns is going to leave in free agency. He basically tweeted at the Kings that Karl Anthony Towns is going to leave in free agency, forgetting that Karl Anthony Towns, in fact, does not play for the Sacramento Kings. De'Aaron Fox then responded with basically making fun of Ja Rule. Ja Rule then asked De'Aaron Fox on Twitter to stop fronting. Was he criticizing his defense?
Yeah, I think he doesn't like the fact that De'Aaron Fox exercises good ball denial.
He doesn't even play on the block.
Yeah.
Okay. Says stop fronting. You won't be there come free agency. Make the commitment now, then tell them you want to re-sign for the next 10 years. Ja Rule also not aware of CBA rules and the fact that De'Aaron Fox can't do that.
De'Aaron Fox kicks Vladdy's door down. I demand to sign an extension and then a 10-year extension.
Yes. Ja Rule needs to read the collective bargaining agreement, also player rosters. He then said he would change, if the Kings changed their name back to the Rochester Royals, he would lift his curse. Now, I don't know much about Lil B, the bass god, but what I do know is that he's regarded in NBA Twitter circles as a god, and he has cursed players and teams before.
Yes, he has.
Well, Lil B has long blessed the Sacramento Kings and been a fan of the Kings and a few other teams. Well, Ja Rule he said I'm going to channel my Lil B bass god skills and curse the Kings. And Lil B was like, no. So now Kings fans, and I thought there's a guy named Tom Stodson on Twitter who's a huge Kings fan, and I thought he said it the best. He said, Ja Rule picked the wrong fan base. Kings fans will eat each other alive all day long, but if somebody from the outside decides to poke at the team or the city, they unite.
It's like a Voltron of hate.
Right. You unite this fan base against, it's like a family. Brothers and sisters will, rip on each other all day long.
And there's so much pent-up anger and aggression. It's like when two football teams, two NFL teams hold like joint practices during training camp and there's like fights. Mm-hmm. It's because that pent-up anger and aggression of going against each other needs to go somewhere.
And they found a spot.
Unleash it on someone else because you can't fully unleash it on each other.
Okay. So we found a common enemy in Ja Rule. Now I went to Ja Rule's Twitter account, and by the way, you also mentioned too that whole Fire Festival scam thing. Somebody, nice job with your headphones, Kyle. Some dude went to jail over the whole thing, but somehow Ja Rule skated on the whole thing. But Ja Rule was like a big part of organizing that Fire Festival that had all the Instagram people go, and they ended up having, it was just a giant mess.
Right.
Like a criminal mess.
It was like a dumpster fire.
So I went to his website or his Twitter account, and he's got a link for bookings. So I had an idea that we're not going to follow through on, but I still think it would be kind of funny. Well, I mean, maybe we could, but I don't.
We need to get Ja on this show, dude.
I think what would be interesting, I would like to book Ja Rule to come on this show for an hour, and we could get a chalkboard, and he just has to write like Bart Simpson style, "I'm sorry, Sacramento," for an entire hour on the video cast. But I don't think Ja Rule, would go for it.
He for sure would not.
Although, what a great move if he did. What a good move if he did. But also, I was looking at the bookings, and it gives you a schedule as to when he's available. Weirdly, he's available a lot. No, I mean, really, like every single date is open. So I don't know. I picked March 27th.
Let me check my calendar.
No, like look at like everything that he's not available is blacked out. There's no blacking out on this page. So let's go with booking him at 6 a.m., which is an option. I don't want him to host an event. You can ask Ja Rule to host an event, perform a few hit songs. Does he have a few hit songs?
He does.
Yeah. Oh, he does.
Okay, wow, don't yell at me. Charity event, full concert, photo shoot, or other. Maybe we could make it a charity event. We'll raise money somehow. Like every line that Ja Rule completes saying, "I'm sorry, Sacramento," we get everybody to do a GoFundMe and donate, let's say, $1 or $5 or something to the charity of his choice.
Himself. He could use the money.
To the Fire Festival 2 Fund. Venue location.
Hey, Ja, what dates are you open? All of them.
All of them. Venue location. 280 Commerce Circle, Sacramento, California. Travel and hospitality for Ja Rule. This fee is handled separately from the booking offer. You have choices here. No travel and hospitality provided. Select individual items, flat fee buyout, or a booking writer. I don't know what any of those mean, so I'm going to say no travel or hospitality. You're coming out on Spirit Air, Ja.
You're doing this on your dime.
Go Greyhound, Ja.
I know you're not busy.
I will. Oh, there's an other. I will send him an Uber. Get an Uber out here.
Just a $2,500 Uber across the country.
You know what? He's pissed me off. I'll send him a Lyft. All right. Payment options. Cash. Escrow. All right. Booking offer. How much should we offer Ja?
$12.
No, he won't do it for $12.
$21.
I'm going to offer Ja Rule $5,000, which he still won't do, but I'm going to put it in anyways. I swear to God, if he accepts it,
Something else might come up.
I will pay Ja Rule $5,000.
Just being honest, that might work.
I don't think it will.
Really? It might.
Oh, God, I hope it doesn't. I got to explain to Melissa what's going on. Hey, sweetheart, I hired Ja Rule for an hour.
Ja Rule's going to be shacking up in the
Whoa,
in the
wait,
man
what?
cave.
I'm talking about my wife. Okay, you went somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
I was talking about renting Ja Rule for an hour, and you went to shacking up after I talked about my wife. Ja Rule... Okay, $5,000.
Hey, it's time to call your local Geico agent, Vince Harris, at 916-923-5050. That's 916-923-5050.
All right, send. I don't know. He's playing some pretty big venues, though. This might not work, Kyle. We got a break here. March 15th, he's going to be at the One Center Square in Easton, Pennsylvania. He's following that up with the Upstate Concert Hall in Clifton Park. And then Sunday, the 17th of March, he'll be in Poughkeepsie, New York at the Walmart. So he does have some venues out there. Let's see if we can't get him in April. There it is, Ja. $5,000. You come out here. All you got to do is write, "I'm sorry, Sacramento" on a chalkboard for an hour during the show from 6 to 7. People can watch the video cast brought to you by Sac Republic and Jiffy Lube. And I will personally start the GoFundMe, and we will get people to donate money for every time you finish the sentence, "I'm sorry, Sacramento."
And the rejoiners in that era, Ja Rule songs.
All Ja Rule songs. All the hits. And yesterday's favorites, which I think are all of them. Does he have any
We'll have to do it on a Thursday, so it's Throwback Thursday with Ja Rule.
Ja Rule has not had a hit record since 2004, legitimately.
So Ja Rule has basically, this is perfect. Ja Rule has not been successful for basically the same term that our basketball team has not been successful. we should all be friends. Maybe this is a big Ja Rule. I can't say he's the Sacramento Kings of that. But anyways.
I feel like that's spot on, though.
Like back in the early 2000s,
like
they were
was
immensely
really
popular.
successful, but was never
Then they
like,
fell
was
off.
never.
Pete D'Alessandro took over his career. Maybe we get 50 Cent to supplement this. You think 50 throw in?
Got a wide open calendar in May.
Did 50 match our $5,000?
Yeah, he's petty.
We should get 50
sure.
on this. Didn't he buy out like a whole
Can we
row?
go?
Didn't 50 buy out a whole hall or something so nobody was at the Ja Rule concert?
Yes, that is a fact.
Okay.
Did that happen? Yeah.
Yeah. We got to get me 50 Cent on the phone, please. Give me 50. Get me 50 Cent. We'll try to get him when we get back. Probably won't happen. Let's get 50 Cent on it. We'll take a break. We will come back with some sort of nonsense next here, probably involving the Kings. Oh, and Kareem selling stuff. I want to know what you'd want. I have something I'd want of Kareem. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Now, your Sports 1140 KHTK update. Brought to you by J.R. Putman Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
This is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. Hey, the Sacramento Kings are back home tonight for the first time since February 10th. They will take on the Milwaukee Bucks at the Golden One Center. Our coverage right here on Sports 1140 begins at 5:30. That's game night. Kings Live is at 6:30. That leads into tip-off, which is set for 7 o'clock. Doesn't look like the pitch clock will be coming to MLB anytime soon. The league was set to install a 20-second pitch timer for this season, but is now willing to push that back until the 2022 campaign as they explore new ways to increase the rate of play in the sport. And 2 Dallas Cowboys are facing suspensions. Defensive end Randy Gregory has been suspended indefinitely for continued violations of the NFL substance abuse policy, while defensive lineman David Irving, who spent portions of the last 2 years serving suspensions, is now facing another one for violating league policies, according to ESPN. It's 7:33. If you have been injured at work, call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-564-4000 for a free consultation. Those are your top stories. Back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Screw the Lakers. More of The Drive right now.
Outcast would never disrespect the Kings.
I believe isn't Big Boy going to be at the game tonight?
Oh, I think he is
for the team up for change.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know he's coming to a game. That's right.
Yeah,
See?
it's tonight.
There you go. Big Boy's on our side. Thank you. Welcome back to the drive. Final half hour here. Coming up tomorrow on the program at 8:05, Samuel Amick of The Athletic will join us to talk Kings and NBA in general. Our question of the day, with the Portland Trailblazers being locked in an elevator for a few minutes yesterday. What 3 sports figures, active sports figures, would you least want to be stuck on an elevator with? I said Jim Gray, Vontaze Burfict.
Bro, does Darren Rovell count?
And Jay Billis. Yeah, he does. I actually like Darren Rovell. I like him because he's such a pompous little dork, but he's aware that he's a pompous little dork and he plays it. And I appreciate people that are self-deprecating.
Sure. And he's gotten, I think, better at that. But his hey, Zion just got injured. Here's Nike's stock hit. It's like, all right, guy.
And
you can wait 20 minutes.
Sure. What he says, and I kind of respect it, he has very much, I'm not going to say he's the only one or he's the pioneer, but when it comes to success, he has been at the forefront of the sports business niche that has been created that is massive now. He's created that market.
He is that niche.
Right. And his content is very consistent. And when something like that happens, he doesn't get emotional about it. He's fine with it. If there was a funeral and in the background one of the pallbearers was wearing a jersey that had the name of a sponsor on it, he's going to tweet out that sponsor got XYZ dollars in ad revenue from being at this funeral.
What's that famous tweet he had? This is horrible for our country, but it's tremendous content.
And my question back to you, because I don't remember what that tweet was, but my question back to you would be this. When you read that tweet, was there a lie in there? Was, in fact, whatever he was talking about great content, even though it was horrible for the country? And by great content,
I have no idea.
Content.
I don't remember what the context was.
He's generally right about it. He's like the guy at dinner that is overly honest.
It's the fact that people, when Zion got hurt, people immediately were like, well, Ravel's going to tweet about Nike's stock now.
And he did. He didn't disappoint. That's who he is. Man. He takes up
anyways,
anyways,
I wouldn't want to be stuck in an elevator with him because he'd be like, man, Tyson Krupp is going to take quite a hit from this story.
I am calling shenanigans on you. I think if you were legitimately stuck in an elevator with Darren Ravel for a half an hour, I think when we talked about it on the show the next day, or if we were off the air and we talked about it, you would hate the fact that you were in an elevator. You would hate the fact you were in there for a half an hour. But I think you would say to me, I talked to Darren Ravel. He's actually a really interesting dude. We actually talked about a lot of stuff, like amazing some of the stuff that he's doing. And I think you'd be fascinated by Darren Ravel.
Maybe.
And we're going to make that happen. I'm going to go to Darren Ravel's booking website, and I'm going to see if we can't book Darren Ravel to sit in an elevator with you for 30 minutes.
Ugh. I can't think of anyone I'd want to be stuck in an elevator with for 30 minutes.
Oh, I can. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has put 4 of his NBA championship rings up for auction. Usually when you hear about an ex-athlete that is putting up old memorabilia, it means the athlete is in trouble financially and you start to feel bad for him. Not in this case. He's putting up his 80, 85, 87, and 88 championship rings. He's auctioning off a game-used, signed, and inscribed basketball from his final game in 89. He's doing this because he's trying to raise money to his Skyhook Foundation, which helps benefit kids learning about science, technology, engineering, and math. He's 71 years old. He says, I'm on a solid financial path. I'm not selling the items due to any money troubles. He said, since my life is still happening and ever evolving, I'm less personally attached to these items than I am to my desire to create new history for others. Much of the proceeds from my auction will go to support my charity, the Skyhook Foundation. We send children from economically challenged schools to 5 days in the Angeles National Forest to experience the wonders of nature and learn the basics about science, technology, and engineering. That's a hell of a program. I've long been my Laker issues aside, I've long been a huge fan of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I actually think he's the most underrated athlete alive. I think he's the most underrated all-around athlete alive. I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when you look at him politically, when you look at what he has done off the court, and then when you look at his career, when I've had this conversation before, go around to your friends today that like the NBA and ask them who their top 5 players of all time are. And you're going to hear Michael, and you're going to hear LeBron, you're going to hear Wilt, you're going to hear all kinds of guys. See how many of your friends leave Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out of the top 5. See how many of your friends leave Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out of the top 5. And here's a little secret for you. There is an absolutely fairly airtight argument that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest player of all time. And he's never in the conversation. 6 NBA championships, 2 finals MVPs, 6 MVPs overall, 19-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team, 5-time second team, 5-time defensive first team, 6-time defensive second team, rookie of the year, 2-time scoring champion, all-time scoring champion, 3-time NCAA champion. The only time he wasn't a 4-time is because freshmen couldn't play at UCLA. He's really, honestly, if you look at it, you can make an argument that he's the greatest basketball player to ever live. And I'd really like to see how people challenge that. It's always like, oh, yeah, Kareem. I mean, he was really good. People talk about Wilt Chamberlain more than they talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And you know what? I've spent this entire segment slobbering over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So as we go to break, here's my question for you. If you had access to all of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's memorabilia, I would tell you that the two things I would probably want the most, three things in this order would be. Number 3, I want the rocking chair that the Sacramento Kings gave him on his retirement tour. Youngsters forget, Kareem's retirement tour, he got presents from everybody. Number two, I think it'd be a hell of a cool thing if he has it to get like a game-worn jersey from when he was Lou Alcindor. That would be awesome, whether it be UCLA or when he first came into the league. And number 1, because I think the price would be right, number 1 on that list, give me a pair of game-worn Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goggles. What a cool thing to show off. I would actually argue the goggles would be more fun than a jersey. Talk about being stuck in an elevator. Stick me in an elevator with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for a half an hour, and I'm going to be begging to be stuck longer, just picking that guy's brain. What's on Tap is next. We'll talk about tonight's game and much more right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
For a cold one, it's What's on Tap. Here's What's on Tap.
What's on Tap? Brought to you by...
What did I say it was going to be brought to you by?
I forget.
Shower oranges.
Shower oranges. We talked about this earlier. There's an article in Men's Health Magazine. Hey, Dave, why are we reading Men's Health Magazine? Because I was pooping and it was on Facebook. And it said you should eat a cold orange in the shower when you wake up every morning, before you've had your coffee, before you brush your teeth, everything. And that the orange zest will make the steam orange smelling. You won't get all sticky from the orange because you're in the shower. And the cold orange juice hitting your mouth that early in the morning will influx you with vitamin C, infuse you with vitamin C and all kinds of other stuff. And it's the greatest possible way to wake up. Don't knock the shower orange till you tried it. And as we said earlier, when we hit the KHTK locker room later on in the week, Kyle, Jay, and myself, we're all going to hit the KHTK showers and try a shower orange, and we'll report back.
Yep. Shower oranges. Get one today.
Thank you for the tagline. I forgot it. A couple people online worried. We earlier today, if you missed the whole kerfuffle between the Sacramento Kings fans, the Sacramento Kings, and Ja Rule, we have offered Ja Rule $5,000.
$5,000
to come out here on the show for an hour and write on a chalkboard, "I'm sorry, Sacramento." And we've also offered donations to the charity of his choice for every sentence he completes. And a couple people brought up, like, you're not worried where Ja Rule's going to, you say the charity of his choice, what if it's Fire Festival 2 or something? You're not worried about that? My response is simply, let's cross that bridge. Let's cross that bridge when Ja Rule agrees to come out to Sacramento for $5,000 to write on a chalkboard, "I'm sorry, Sacramento." Based
on the entertainment I personally got from watching Firefest on the internet from afar, I'm very much in for Firefest 2.
I'm all, well, we could make that Firefest 2 in studio. Nobody gets screwed.
Hey, so let's fast forward to a hypothetical world where this happens.
Mm-hmm.
We're for sure branding it as Firefest, but like FIRE.
Like that's fire?
Yeah.
Like the Liddy Committee?
Yeah.
I think the top,
which is awesome, by the way.
I think
one of my favorite things.
I love it. I think the top story if Ja Rule comes out here and does this for $5,000 is not going to be any of that. The top story is going to be how I explained to my wife how I just lopped $5,000 on one of our credit cards. That's going to be a fun conversation.
I think if you start with Ja Rule, you're good.
Go ahead.
It's time to call your local Geico agent, Vince Harris, at 916-923-5050. That's 916-923-5050. Perfect. Oh, good. We're doing this. Hey, are you telling her that you actually did it?
Let's see. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Let's see how she would take it. Call my wife, who will probably not pick up. Even though she's at home, working. And her phone is ringing right now next to her.
Is your phone in her purse?
This is Melissa.
Melissa, hi, it's your husband, and you're on the radio.
Oh, God.
Hi.
What do you want?
What, really?
Yeah, man.
Not a great start.
What do you mean, yeah, man? Come on, I love you. I'm your husband. Why do you say it like that?
Because you only call me for dumb things.
Okay,
so what do you want?
This isn't dumb. I just need to get your reaction. I thought maybe it would be better to tell you in front of everyone rather than privately.
Oh, God.
I want to remind you that I am one of the breadwinners of the household, and any swearing will get me fired. Remember yesterday when I told you about how we were fighting with Ja Rule?
Yeah.
So how mad would you be if I told you that Ja Rule was going to come out here, he was going to fly out here, and he was going to come on my show from 6 to 7 a.m. sometime in April, and he was going to write on a chalkboard, "I'm sorry, Sacramento." And every single time he wrote a sentence that said, "I'm sorry, Sacramento," we would get people to donate money to a charity for every sentence. But the catch is I've agreed to pay him $5,000 to do it.
What?
But it's for charity, and it's
out of your own money.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anyone else. Who else is going to pay it?
I don't know. You have friends.
Well, maybe.
Debatable.
I don't know
Why don't you do a GoFundMe with all your Kings fans that want to see this?
Because I didn't think he'd accept, so I just said I'll pay him, and now I'm kind of stuck.
You're not stuck.
What?
How are you stuck?
It turns out Ja Rule does not have that much going on.
I mean, yeah, it turns out Ja Rule's not very busy. So I'm stuck because I can't back out of it.
Why can't you?
You want me to back out of it in front of the entire city? Hey guys, sorry, I can't pay him $5,000. What would my excuse be?
So you pay him $5,000, and then all your little Kings friends pay you $5,000.
Okay.
And then everyone's happy.
Each?
And maybe
No, like do a GoFundMe. So you pay him the $5,000,
right?
And then we do Carmichael Dave, like Ja Rule GoFundMe, and then all your little Kings fans and friends can like donate to your GoFundMe.
But then what about I need them to donate to the charity for the sentences he completes?
Wait, what? How much are you donating?
Well, we haven't figured that out yet, but I was going to ask, do one of those walkathons. Let people donate $1 for every sentence he completes in the hour.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get 5,000 plus that. How many Kings fans are there?
Okay.
A lot.
All right, so let's say I do that. But let me just say hypothetically, I'm sure this wouldn't happen, but let me just say hypothetically, I don't get any money for the $5,000, but they all want to donate to the charity thing. Like, scale of 1 to 10, how mad would you be?
What is your guess?
My guess is 50. Kyle, go ahead. Would you like a guess?
I was going to say 37.
37. Jay Marshall in the back there. Jay, 1 to 10, how mad do you think my wife would be?
94.
94.
Good guess.
I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 10, divorce. She's laughing.
Well, this takes a lot less to divorce you.
Okay.
So, you know.
I feel like this is something you'd be angry about, but we could work through.
Well, how?
Counseling?
Oh, my God. No.
Okay.
How about just no? And all your little Kings fans can hate me.
I don't, why are they? Hey, how can we keep calling them little Kings fans?
I mean, giant Kings fans?
You're a
I don't
Kings
know
fan.
what you are. I am. I don't even understand why you're calling me.
Well, because I feel guilty.
No, here's the thing. What everyone needs to know about Dave is, he's calling me, but really he probably already gave him the $5,000, and now he's trying to, back out of it because that's what he does. He, pays for things and then tells me afterwards. So how about you be honest, and you probably already paid the $5,000.
Easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
Yes.
What if I pay it back in good loving?
Ew. By someone else? You
want me to do a GoFundMe?
You have to pay me for that. What are you talking about?
All right, sweetheart, I didn't do it. I just put the offer out there. I don't think he's going to accept, but I wanted to gauge your interest, or I wanted to gauge your anger I wanted to gauge your anger in front of everybody, but I haven't done it yet.
I just think this should be like a community thing, like,
okay.
Here we jaw rule or something. I don't freaking know.
That's a good hashtag. All right, I got to wrap the show. I'm going to come home and bring you your car keys.
Thanks.
I love you.
Love you too.
Bye. All right.
Here we jaw rule is the title of today's show. Awesome. That's great.
Oh, I love my wife, and yeah, I'm going to need a divorce lawyer at some point. All right, thanks to everybody. Jay, Kyle, I'm okay. My wife, Ja Rule. Jim Rome is next. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your broadcast day. Sports 1140 KHTK. Bye-bye now.
The Jim Rome Show.